Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Erdons, and today we will be going over the Call of Robloxia rewrite. I made a video a while back about this before the rewrite, where it was just the tech demo, as Lido is calling it. Lido, as one of the main developers of Call of Robloxia. I do not recommend you watch it because it was very bad. But if you do want to see what the game is looking to look like, go back to that video and look over it. In this video, I'll be going a bit more in depth than the last video about overall graphics, gameplay, their future plans, and other stuff like that. Now before I start, the name is not Core 6. This project is called Core, not Core 6, Call of Robloxia. No 6. I've seen a ton of people mistake the game for Core 6, even though it's not named that. Just wanted to point that out. Everything I talk about in this video is subject to change. It is not permanent. Be reminded of that if my facts are slightly wrong or you want to acknowledge me of something. Just say so in the comments and I will heart your comment. The first section I would like to talk about is the graphics. The overall look of the game at the moment is pretty good. As you can tell in the video, the map they're using currently is just an older map from the original Core, so this is not going to be the map they're going to use, and I'm pretty sure they're going to try and mess around with the characters a bit more. Lighting wise, they're using the shadow mapping at the moment. They are going to change back to voxel lighting because shadow mapping, it's kind of too laggy at the moment, so they'll be switching to voxel lighting. That way it's not as laggy, but after the playtest, the FPS wasn't too bad. And I run on a RTX 2060 Intel Core i7, 16 gigabytes, so it shouldn't be too hard to run, but in most Roblox games, they're pretty hard. So this game is probably up there in the best running games on Roblox so far, although it is just an invisible gun simulator. Next, I would like to talk about gameplay. The controls are great. Movement system, I love it. They are going to be eventually adding sliding like they have in Phantom Forces, but that is not implemented yet. I don't know if they're actually going to be adding that. That's just what I've heard from Lido. The time to kill isn't too bad. In the video, I'm using a M1 Tommy gun. It takes about like 3 hits to the body to kill or so. The game feels really smooth, it's really fun to play, and I would recommend playing it whenever they open it up to the public. Now, something they have implemented in Core is damage sweet spots. They've made it so at a certain distance, you can change the amount of damage a bullet does. So instead of it just slowly going down at a certain point, the bullets, you can actually change it so like maybe after 10 feet, the bullet will have max damage, but anything before that will not do as much. So they added that so they would have more customization when it comes to damage in the game, and I'm really looking forward to what they'll do with that. The overall feel of the gameplay is really fun. I'd play this game hours on end, although probably not hours on end because I have other stuff to do, but it's really fun, and I can't wait for this game to come out. Next, I would like to talk about their future plans for the game. One of those things is UI design. In their other game, Phantom Forces, their UI is pretty hard-coded into the game, and you can't really change it that much. I've heard from Lido during some of his streams that while developing Phantom, he coded in all of the shapes and sizes of the UI, so it would be I'd assume that it would be very hard to like change what the UI looks like. He said he had to go like into play mode and out of play mode several times just to test like one UI feature. I think that's pretty tedious. In this new game, they're doing it the normal way and not coding it into the game. So it's just, they set it up as a screened UI and that's it. They don't have to like resize it through code or anything like that. They're just doing it the simple way. This also helps with customization features like color gradients and other things like designs on it, like polka dots or something like that. Maybe you could put zigzags on it. It just makes it a lot easier to customize. The leveling system, we don't really know too much about that, but it's not going to be like Phantom where it gets harder to level up over time. It'll take the same amount of XP to level up, just the leveling system will be separate from the gun unlocking system. So I'm excited to see that. Now onto the weapon unlocks and attachments. They have it going as a mastery tree, I would say, where over time you can either choose to go down in the tree or up in the tree when it comes to attachments. Of course, the same thing goes with weapons. You'll have different variants of the same weapon. Maybe you'll have like a prototype version that you can select, and that would count as going down the tree. So if you start with a M1 Thompson and then you want to have the prototype version, you just go down into the tree when you level up your weapon mastery. Other customization things, characters, they are definitely planning on adding that, but not too much confirmation on how that's going to work yet. Next I would like to talk about things they could add, how they could balance out the game. But shotguns, I have a real problem with when it comes to games. Usually you would think that shotguns would do a large amount of damage at close range and then just stop doing damage at some point, but a lot of games don't do that and just let the shotgun do as much damage as it wants all the time. So what I think StyLiS should do for this game is they should make it so shotguns don't do as much damage at a certain range. So if you start at like 5 damage per pellet and then it would stay like that until it gets to like 10 feet out, then it would just drop down to 1 damage. That would be a good way to balance shotguns. If you know Phantom Forces, you can snipe with shotguns, and no one likes that. They could definitely mess with the controls, especially for spectator mode. You can move around your camera, and if you press shift, it'll slow down the speed. It has been confirmed that they are going to make it so you can change the speed by moving your scroll wheel. And really that's it for controls. Another thing I would like them to add is a way to customize UI. Like I talked about earlier, they made it so it's a lot easier to customize UI in the development process, so there should definitely be some sort of way to change the color of your UI or something like that, change the shape. That would probably be like a extra thing that they add after they launch the game, but I would definitely recommend them adding that because I know a ton of people would like that. So that's pretty much all I have to talk about for today.